Is this part of the Diddy trial? I'm lost.
No.
What is?
No, they're just trials.
Karen
everywhere.
Reed.
You mean there's another
Netflix.
trial besides the Diddy trial?
Yes.
right
Man,
now?
Netflix is going to have just so much
I
fun.
feel
You've got Rippling versus Deel. You've got Diddy. You got this guy. I mean, there's just so much content.
There's so
out
much
there
good
available.
stuff coming.
Yes.
Buy Netflix stock. That's an insider. That's an insider deal.
Come on, just slam an iron brew and let's do this, boys.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Let them eat tariffs on a Qatari luxury jet. Hi, boys and girls. This is the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Hicks versus Nick's Cheeseman.
This is Chad. Skype is dead. So wash.
And this is JT. I can't take this weather in New England anymore, O'Donnell.
And on this episode, eating tariffs, taxing tips, and dancing unicorns, everybody. That's right. Let's do this.
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harry comes in. Harry is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harry, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harry's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harry, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harry is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
Wait, you were all, I mean, you're now sleeveless, but you just had a big, coat sweater.
You want me to go there?
Go there. I mean, I don't want you to freeze just on account of us.
If you're in New England, you get it right now, right, folks? Like they're telling me a nor'easter, 35 degrees, and I'm going to see snow.
June.
It's May 22nd.
I mean, that hot pink sweater increased the temperature in my house. It's so
I'm
warm.
supposed
I
to
don't know
be
what you need.
on the golf course, on the river, swinging away. Instead, I'm going to have a simulator golf lesson today because we can't go outside. What is that?
So your wearing ad says Riva, RIVAH. What is that a golf course in New England?
Yeah. So in New England, up in Maine is Sunday River, and they have the number one golf course in Maine. It is absolutely beautiful and stunning. But if you go into the river. And so this hat is sold out. Just, it's the only one you can get. And I love it.
She's got it.
You don't always hear my accent. I can bring
What
it
do we
out.
think of have we seen the trend of the upside down text on hats? That's a thing now.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm too old to get it, but
That works for me. I love hats. I'd wear them every day if I could. I do.
Who else
and
is
I
too
decided
old?
today. What?
Say, know who else is too old to get it? Skype, because it's dead. 23 years old.
Wait, I think I still have credit.
And could we possibly call Skype the blockbuster of video calling? I mean, they were the biggest in the space, and they just got smothered by tons of other video call companies: Zoom, Google Meet, WhatsApp, Facebook, WebEx. I mean, all these other, and even
Microsoft fucked that up.
Well, yeah, its younger sibling, Microsoft Teams, is more used than Skype. And they said they're going to just roll Skype into Microsoft Teams, which means they're just literally going to make accounts accessible, I think.
Where are my credits? I think I still have money.
Yeah, I'm still getting over Flickr leaving Flickr without the E. Everybody remember? All my photos on Flickr. Damn it.
Will still has a MySpace.
All right. So we got snow in the forecast in May in New England.
It's ridiculous.
Here it's 50s and cloudy. And what's the weather in Portugal, Chad?
85, baby. I had to shut the curtains because there was so much sun coming in. 85 and beautiful.
Nice.
No clouds.
So what's on tap for you this weekend, Chad?
Beach.
What are you doing, Chad?
Beach.
Yeah. Beach and bar, beach, restaurants, that kind of stuff.
Bar, beach. I got it.
Yeah.
I got, you'll appreciate this. The Indy 500. I'm going this weekend.
Are you going to the infield? Where are you going?
We got seats.
Okay.
I'm too old for that shit. I got seats. I got a plush recliner somewhere. No, Indy's not the best place in the world to live, but in May, it's not bad. Like you got the race, usually the weather's turning. We got Caitlin Clark playing again. We got the Pacers. Pacers in a big win last night against the Knicks.
That was awesome.
So yeah, May is usually pretty hype in Indianapolis, so it's not too bad. Not too bad.
You get a few days out of the year. It's great.
Yeah.
The 1 month out of the year.
Graduation parties. Nephews graduating.
Yeah.
So yeah, weather permitting, if we can get to the outdoors.
Yeah. Cole Cheeseman graduation.
Ooh.
I'll be absent in a couple weeks for his graduation party and everything. So
that's freaking awesome. Well,
all
good for him. Are we ready to hit the shout outs?
We got shout outs.
Is it time for shout outs?
They're sponsored by our friends up north, Kiora. That's text recruiting done simply and cost effectively. JT has got some stuff she wants to get off her
my
chest.
shout out is to Shanon with one N Burgess, the prosecution's expert in the Karen Reed case this week. Got on there and talked about all his wealth of knowledge, and then was systematically dismantled by the defense when they pulled up his LinkedIn profile and 3 versions of his resume, all of which claimed he had a bachelor's degree in various different titles, and all a lie. All a lie. They caught him in a lie on the stand. He had to come back for more testimony the next day. Shockingly, the LinkedIn profile was private, and all the references to it were suddenly gone on the profile page of the company that he works for. And it's been revealed he has an associate's degree. He's been going after the bachelor's, though, for 17 years. So he's going to be getting it any minute now.
So he's a doctor.
But, the crazy thing about it was everybody was running around saying, yeah, but, everyone pads their resume. But he really blew it. Like, you shouldn't pad it that much when you're on the expert stand. I'm like, and that's why we don't believe resumes anymore. That's why we don't believe it's just, you just proved why the system should die. Well, we have to find something different.
And let's say he did have a bachelor's degree. I don't know how many people have like bachelor's degrees from 20, 30 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. It's about, can you do the job now? Can you prove that you can do the job now? So resumes.
Chad, that's the thing. He had an associate's and 10 years of experience. He could do the job. Yeah. Why'd you lie? And it just ruins it for everyone else. Like, society, you can't trust a piece of paper anymore, right? Society.
It's like you got to have a certain thing. So it's like you push people. Not saying that it's good to lie. Don't get me wrong. Don't pad like that. But yeah, I totally get it. So why was he on the stand? Was this because he was lying about his credentials to get a job? Or?
No, he was brought in to introduce some new evidence in the timeline of what the prosecution was claiming, which was also systematically dismantled by the defense. It was just a nightmare. And then he claimed it was brand new, but then in his own testimony admitted that they asked for it over a month ago. So it was like what they truly call like an ambush of the defense. It's a crazy trial. If nobody's watching it, if you are, everybody just message me because I don't have enough people to talk about it with. Like, I'm obsessed with this case, as is many people across the country. But this one just blew my mind. Like, they're putting up his LinkedIn profile. I mean, it's screenshotted forever. I don't know where this guy's going to get a job after this. Like, it's everywhere.
Is this part of the Diddy trial? I'm lost.
No.
What is?
No, they're just trials
Karen
everywhere.
Reed.
You mean there's another trial besides the Diddy trial?
Yes.
Man, Netflix is going to have just so much fun. You've got Rippling versus Deel. You've got Diddy. You got this guy. I mean, there's just so much content.
There's so much good stuff coming.
Yes.
Buy Netflix stock. That's an insider. That's an insider deal.
Here at the Chad and Cheese Podcast, one thing that we love is obviously you watching, but also like and subscribe.
Well, Chad, I don't know how I follow that because that's good. Clowns on the stand. But I'm going to go with another clown, Ronald McDonald. This is my second week that McDonald's is getting my shout out, saving the world one Big Mac at a time. I mentioned the new jobs that they're going to be creating, 900 new stores across the country. And just like Taco Bell, they're going to be open later this summer. That's right, kids. If you need that McFlurry craving satisfied at 2 a.m. in the morning, and who doesn't? Who hasn't been there? Go to McDonald's and get it up. But here's a bigger reason why McDonald's is getting my shout out. A lot of us out there suffer from migraine headaches. I'm one of them. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of other. If you listen to this, you're probably getting a migraine right now. And migraines can be cured. Get this by McDonald's. Check out this footage, everybody.
For all my migraine people, can someone explain to me why a McDonald's fry and a McDonald's Coke, which I get diet because I'm weird and I like the taste of it, is one of the few things that can make me feel better? Like, what is the science behind it? Is it the salt? I don't get sugar in my Diet Coke, so I need to know. And does this work for any of you?
Placebo
it's
effect.
McMagic, baby. It's McMagic.
It's called
is how it works.
placebo effect.
McDonald's curing migraines, everybody. Shout out. I'm loving it, and I'm feeling better from fries and my Diet Coke. Thanks.
Nothing like a little placebo effect via cholesterol. My shout out this week goes back to last week. Last week, I asked Matt Lavery and Joe Shaker to try out Portillo's sandwich called the Leo, named after the newest pope and first American-born pope, also from Chicago. And here is Matt's review.
Joel and Chad asked me to give a review of
I love the close-up on the sandwich.
This particular Leo, as it sits before you in all its glory, has sweet and hot peppers and hot jardiniere, the holy trinity of beef sandwich condiments, and it has been fully baptized in the heavenly gravy. And it just...
Here we go.
It smells, it looks amazing, simply amazing. Now, there were a few other questions. Sour peppers, not a thing. No. Is this the best beef sandwich in Chicago? People may quibble. They may tell you Al's Beef on Taylor, Johnny's in Elmwood Park, Pops on the South Side may be better, but the Leo is a sandwich for the masses, for the full congregation of beef sandwich worshipers to enjoy throughout Portillo's many locations throughout the country. And that is why it is excellent. It meets you where your needs are, wherever they may be. And it is always there for you. It'll never let you down. You can order it your own way and then consume it in the way that you want to. You can have it dry. You can have it wet. You can have it fully baptized like this. You can have it with peppers or no peppers. It's all up to you on how you want to consume the Leo. Now, is the Leo different than a regular Portillo's beef sandwich?
Good question.
There is no regular Portillo's beef sandwich any longer.
He's so diplomatic.
It is simply the Leo from this point going forward. It is the only way that Chicagoans will refer to the sandwich the same way that it'll always be the Sears Tower, always the John Hancock Building. From this point forward, this sandwich from Portillo's will simply be the Leo, period, full statement, done.
End of story.
Now, I must leave you now so I can consume this Leo before it gets cold. In nomine Patris et Filii and Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Peace and love to all, and I'm out.
Matt Lavery does nothing halfway.
What's a Portillo's?
Portillo's, yeah.
What's a Portillo's? We don't have those in the Northeast.
It's a restaurant. It's a Chicago staple. We have one in Indianapolis, so I get to enjoy
Send one
those.
to New England.
Italian beef.
All right, couple things real quick. I made a bet with Lavery on the Cubs over and under on wins for this season, which was 90. They're on pace to win 97 games, so I'm not looking real good at the moment on that bet. Matt's going to get a pretty good bottle of Irish whiskey on that. And number two,
with a Portillo's gift card.
Matt, that is one dry looking Leo, man. That thing should be swimming in a hot tub of gravy. I'm a little disappointed. That looked really, really dry to me.
Don't you shame him on his Italian beef. He likes it the way he likes it. Just because you're a wet, sloppy sandwich eater doesn't mean that Matt has to be.
I want to wear my Leo. I want to wear it. I need to do laundry after I eat that thing, man. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. But shout out to him, man. Love me some Matt Lavery.
Matt Lavery's amazing. And just waiting for Joe Shaker to give us his review as well. And in the meantime, kids, you got to sign up for free stuff. That's right. Go to chadcheese.com/free where you can get a free t-shirt from who? That's right. If you can see it, if you're watching video, Aaron App. Shirts from Aaron App. We've got a new design coming soon. Hopefully we'll release that, kind of tease what's happening. We've got a bourbon barrel aged syrup from the boys over at Kiora, up north at Kiora. Whiskey, two bottles. Not one bottle of cock, two bottles of chicken cock from Van Hack. Craft beer from the Job Data Geeks over at Aspen Tech Labs. Love those guys. And if it's your birthday, you know what it is. You get rum from Plum. One winner with a birthday could possibly win. Rum from Plum. You got to go to chadcheese.com/free.
I can feel it all the way down in my plum.
That's right, Chad. Another trip around the sun for Shelley Billinghurst.
Oh, I love her.
Canadian. Matthew Brigham. Jeff the Doctor. Retired. Dickie Chasins. Colm O'Quinnan. Wow, that's Irish. Jacqueline Adair, Jeanette Leeds, Matt Soroka, Sean Campbell, Madison Richards, Stephanie Trasick, Caitlin Fail, Bruce Carey, Kevin Robinson, Sarah Grossman, and last but not least, Chad, you and I, if you know, celebrate another birthday this coming week. Happy birthday, Chad.
A lot of superstars. And they'll get a chance to see us in Nebworth. That's right. We're traveling thanks to Shaker Recruitment Marketing. But next on board for events is Wreckfest in Nebworth, July 10th. Who's excited about this one? JT, you excited? Huh?
Excited.
Is this your first one?
Kicking off my vacation. Psyched.
Freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's going to be at the festival. I mean, if you've never been to Wreckfest, come on, kids. This is like the Lollapalooza of recruitment events. It's outside. It's a festival. And I think around noon or 1's when the beer starts flowing. So you get to learn. You get to connect with your peers. Hopefully you've got all your peers, all your friends, got the whole office there, and you get to learn, enjoy, and just get that gel, that wonderful gel happening within the actual organization. It's the only way to do it. That's the bonding.
And rumor has it one Stephen McGrath is going to be there. Is that true?
Events.
Yes.
Where are we going, boys?
Yes. You're going to Nebworth, Stephen.
That's right. And taking the stage is Noasis, Chad. That's right. They're back. The Oasis cover band. The real Oasis is on tour this summer. But if you can't make that, it's a lot cheaper to go to Wreckfest, get some good stuff, get some.
It's going to sound the same.
Feel like the rock and roll star.
We're all going to be there. Emmy's going to be taking the stage. Mo's going to be taking the stage. JT's going to be taking. I mean, you guys are probably going to be everywhere.
No, I'm going to be. Anybody that's a newbie that's listening to this, we're going to form a posse. We're just going to have the newbie posse. No stage needed. Let's go. Message me. That's all good.
Yeah, don't tease us with that stuff.
It's going to be fun.
Topics!
All right, it's clown time. That's right. The corporate espionage conflict between HR tech giants Rippling and Deel has intensified, now implicating a third unicorn, Boston-based HR software firm GlobalizationPartners. That sounds made up. This new company reportedly discovered and reported similar Deel conduct to federal authorities, prompting an ongoing investigation. How many spies does Deel have around the world? It's very thought-provoking. Chad, what are your thoughts on this ongoing circus?
It's just time to sit back and continue to watch, kids, and watch all these things roll in. We keep hearing new companies kind of like throwing Deel's name out there, Rippling's name out there. So yeah, I mean, again, we've got a corporate espionage story happening. Who would have thought that would have happened, right? So yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, if they've done this with Rippling, who's to say they haven't done this with others? Not saying that they have, but who's to say that they haven't, right? So yeah, not surprising. Not surprising.
What's the over under on Deel CEO surviving at this point? Or 6 months? 6, 7,
I
8
don't understand
a
how
year?
I mean, so we're still in kind of like the Trumpian, you can't admit when you're wrong kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I wonder how long that lasts when it comes down to the investors, right? The investors, if they start losing revenue, it's going to be an issue, and he's going to have to go. I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I really believe they have to get rid of the entire C-suite. It's not just the CEO, COO. I mean, everybody had to know about this. CFO is his dad. He was a part of this thing, right? So it's like they have to get rid of everybody, top down, not the staff who's doing the work, but just the C-suite.
At least the CEO. They can't go IPO with this dude at the head of the table.
Yeah, and they were set to. I mean, they were at least on a good run rate too.
And Rippling clearly is. They're submitting paperwork and getting this shit done. Have you ever heard of Globalization Partners?
Yeah.
That sounds like the Step Brothers 2 new company that they've created. Globalization Partners.
Yeah, EOR companies are all over the place these days. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
That's true.
I mean, tagging in on free media.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you see something going on, why not tag in on that and get some visibility? You didn't know the name, you know now, Joel. It's pretty multisyllabic, but I mean, way to rock it, is the way I look at it. Meanwhile, I'm just going to say it. I've said it before while this thing's gone down over and over again. They're doing this all over here, and somebody's crushing it over here that's going to come out of the woodwork. We see this over and over and over again. This hurts all sides involved in that right now because they're too busy dealing with that. So mark my words, it'll be interesting to see who comes out of nowhere. But it's going to be someone who's flying under the radar.
Crazy.
You done messed up, Aaron!
All right. A name I will remember, not Globalization Partners after this call, is Klarna.
Yes.
Klarna, that's right. We talked about Klarna backpedaling on their AI-first workforce last week. They're actually hiring people again, but they also doubled down this week as they prepare to go public. I can't believe this is actually news, but the quarterly earning report was delivered by an AI avatar. Take a quick look.
Hello, hey, guten Tag and hola. It's me, or rather my AI avatar, here to share Klarna's Q1 2025 highlights. We're starting the year strong, and 3 things really stand out. 1. We've hit 100 million active consumers, the fastest growth we've seen in years.
All right, you get the idea. Chad, what do we make of this? Is it a trend? Is this a one-off? Are we going to see more of these AI presentations? I mean, this is going public. Why is their CEO not up there? I get the idea, right? Like we're an AI first company, so here we are, AI. I'm not sure what to make of it. What says you?
So I think Klarna's CEO is becoming just as thirsty for attention and unreliable as Elon Musk. These avatars are going to be all over the place. I mean, whether they do stupid shit like this, CEOs, I mean, this is more of a trick than anything else. I have zero love for Klarna as a business, just to get that out there. It's a micro payment system that is nothing more than a micro payday loan scamming system, aka modern day loan sharking kind of thing, right? But for the kids out there, here's a quick rundown. Klarna was prepping for IPO. So they made these bold AI claims they couldn't back up. So they needed people again, and they started with cheaper offshoring instead of hiring back. So it wasn't actually on their rolls. It made it look like it was AI to some extent. Then the economy, for orange reasons, started another downward slide. So the quote unquote, not doing IPO writing was on the wall, which means hire people and re-equip with new AI enhanced systems. So Klarna is literally going to do what they should have been doing in the first place, using people to train the AI. Every single day, you've got hundreds of people that are training the AI, and then the AI gets smarter, and then you can start to kind of like bleed it into the system. But they tried way too fast, and he stepped on his own balls on this one.
Another one.
JT, are job seekers going to embrace this?
Yeah, I'll go a different route about the actual AI piece of it. So I tested them. There's lots of them out there. I tested one called Captions. You can download it for free on your iPhone, upload 2 to 3 minutes of video. The key is to not use a lot of hand gestures or motion so that you can look realistic. It's darn realistic. And where I find it interesting being so focused on Pro Voice, my talent agency, is that companies are going, great, this is our solution for our executive team. We want our executive team out there, but dang, they suck on video. So this is going to be the solution to make them sound good and look good. And as this technology gets better and better, pretty seamless. And so all that says to me is that we're going to be looking even more so now for authentication, that the video is original, that it is real. And the thing that you notice about it is it's a little too perfect. Where's the skip, the stutter? Where's the natural inflection in the voice versus sounding melodic?
Where's the humanity?
Right. Like, exactly. And so you're just going to see very quickly the need for that. Hey, here's the little sticker on the bottom that says this is authentically me. This is a real recording. This is not an AI recording. And I believe that will come soon enough. But what it does tell you is that everyone will be required to do video. And I've said this a million times over. Every single person listening on this call, I don't care what your level is. If you don't understand, you're going to have to authenticate yourself on video. You're an ostrich with the head in the sand. Within 2 years, everyone will have to do this. And so, get started. Stop with the face for radio. Get over yourself. You have to go on interviews. You have to meet with people. You have to talk to people. Video is just another form of doing that, and so get comfortable as opposed to relying on the AI like he did. Because
Joel never thought we would do video. Joel never thought we would do video. And then look what we're doing.
Here we are. Yeah.
So much of going public is the story.
Too much.
Numbers work, and I know that is obviously a big part of it. But people want to know what your story is, what your vision is, who's leading this, who's steering this ship. And to me, this AI narrative only works for Klarna. I don't see every company coming forth or having this something be standard. Now, there is a threat. Like, this is a really good video. Like,
yeah,
if I had just not known it was AI, I would probably do a second take. Like, is that a real person? Like, no, it's not. It would take me a while, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So at some point, we will be able to just have me on the podcast, and you don't know if it's me or an avatar, and we'll get there at some point. But this only works, in my opinion, for Klarna because they are an AI first, AI workplace story. And although they are hiring people again, I mean, they've been able to shrink the company from 5,000 to 3,000 because of AI. At the end of the video, they talk all about how we're an AI first company. So it only works for them. I don't think if you launch a new EV that you could do this. I don't think Elon's avatar is going to be the same kind of impact as this. People want to know the human beings behind it. They want to know the story. They want to feel something when they invest in a company. It's not just about the numbers and cents.
We talked about this before. The story does matter unless it's just bullshitting, right? And in this case, they're bullshitting. He was bullshitting the market, which I would call fraud. When you're saying that you're doing something and you're telling investors that you're doing something and you're doing something entirely different, hey, we're going strictly AI. Oh no, you're offshore. Yeah. That's bullshit. That's fraud. So that's not a story. That's a bullshit fucking lie. And the same thing with fucking Elon Musk. How long has he been talking about these robo taxis? It's like, yes, I totally get it. But the thing is, we have gotten so far away from the numbers that we're believing bullshit left and right. We need to focus. There has to be a good blend, but right now it's less on the numbers and it's more about what's your vision. Well, his vision is a bunch of shit at this point.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of Tesla investors wish there wasn't so much Elon out there. Maybe it was a little less Elon would probably be good for that company. It'll be really interesting when these guys go public. Like, are people going to buy the shit? Are they not? Because the market has a way of correcting a lot of this shit. And if the market says the numbers don't add up, the what you guys are doing, we don't like it, the market's going to. But if the market rewards them, you may see a lot more AI. You may see a lot more reports and earnings and things that are automated.
I hate the fucking product. It's micro loan sharking is what it is. I hate it.
I hate it. Micro, not so much. Sometimes micro. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hurt.
Emotional damage.
All right, guys, let's talk about automation gone wrong. Ooh. And JT, this one's right up your alley. Interviews are whoo. Okay. The increasing use of AI-powered job interviews is starting to be met with skepticism and frustration from job seekers on social media. While some acknowledge the potential benefits of AI in screening more candidates, a growing number of users are finding the experience impersonal, dehumanizing, and time-consuming. JT, you talked to a lot of job seekers. I'm sure a lot of them have dealt with these automated interviews. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's heightened by the fact of what's going on right now. You know, and in all my years of doing this is way worse than 2008. You know, there's a lot of highly educated white collar workers out there that are scratching their heads going, what's wrong? And so they don't understand how bad the market is. So it's easy to blame the AI when in reality, everybody's experiencing it. It's not a you problem. It's the market problem, but you want to look to blame somewhere. And so it's really easy to say it's the AI screening and, I'm not getting my shot to speak to someone. And if I did, they would see I'm the candidate for the job. Well, there's 1,000 of you. Even if you got that shot, it doesn't mean you would get the interview or move forward in the job. And I think that's been really hard. And technology is always the easiest thing to blame. So, I see job seeker frustration at an all-time high. Where I get more worried is about when they're forced to do things like autonomous video interviewing, where that video captured of them is going to somebody else and is owned by somebody else. And things like that are really disturbing for them. And so I try to remind them to not use job boards and mass apply online and do all the things that just aren't a good use of your time and honestly just make you feel bad about yourself psychologically. And instead learn to do the smart things, the more intentional things, the more focused things, to be a job shopper, not a job seeker, which will make it feel more human to you. And you also happen to get better results. But yeah, I mean, we're going to keep using the technology. Some of it will fail, but it's not going to go away. Yeah. AI is going to get more and more sophisticated. And someday I'm going to be a candidate talking about what I know. And that's going to turn into a bot that goes and talks to a recruiter, and they're going to have a conversation and eventually get to the place that, hey, we should meet in person, right? Like all of that's coming, not in 10 years, but in 2 years. I'm already seeing some of it now. So it's bad before it gets better, but you've got a heightened market right now that's making it feel worse, and hence the job seeker frustration. Easy to blame.
So, quote from the article, the experience of auditioning for a computer can feel somewhat surreal, end quote. Our robot overlords have arrived, kids. This is, you're going to get used to it. You're going to have to get used to it. Some companies are going to be different. Some companies are going to have actual humans. Some companies are going to have avatars like the Klarna avatar that you just saw, and you're not going to be able to notice the difference until maybe later. But I think we could get rid of all the weirdness by doubling down on the weirdness. Stick with me, JT. Stick with me. Do you remember Max Headroom?
Yes.
The 1980s. In the 1980s, Max Headroom, a virtual TV host, a fake AI-generated talking head. He was one of the early Klarna guys, with a stuttering, glitchy voice and fast-talking sarcasm, complete with slick back plastic hair. This guy could be the answer and could be the interviewer.
It would actually be really good branding if a company was like, you know what, we're not even going to try to fake you out. Like, this is a robot, and maybe actually put a robot, like do some shit like that. That would be funny. So what's happening is on TikTok and other social media is that people are actually recording the automated interview for TikTok and other social media. So what tends to be happening is there's glitches in these programs, and they just repeat over and over, and people are recording this and embarrassing the whole process. I think it's probably time for a little history lesson.
Time for a history lesson
for the kids out there. Some of you might be too young to remember the black hole. Let me introduce you to the black hole. The black hole was, I submit my resume and I never hear shit from anybody. It's total silence.
Still happening.
Still happening. Okay. So now for a while it was like, holy shit, someone's replying. At the time it was probably a chat bot initially, text and whatever came back, like, holy cow. And we didn't care that it was a bot because we're actually getting engagement. We're actually like going back and forth with the company as opposed to just not hearing anything and maybe getting a postcard in the mail 6 weeks later saying, thanks for applying to the job. So I'm with JT. This is going to happen.
Yes.
Companies are not going to go back and say, we're going to hire people to interview you. Like that's not going to be a thing. The tech will get better. They'll look more like the Klarna guy and less like Max Headroom. And that's how interviews are going to happen. Now, I think there are going to be some positions where I'm not going to talk to a robot. I'm a SVP or I'm a whatever. Like for some positions, this isn't going to happen. But if you're at the level of high frequency turnover, entry level seasonal stuff, like this is your reality. Mm-hmm. And my question is, would you rather go back to the black hole where you heard nothing or getting Max Headroom during your interview?
Howard, let me build on that though, okay? Because the other thing I think we did was we made applying easy and we made people lazy. At the end of the day, you're a business of one selling your services to an employer, okay? They are going to pay. Now, yes, you want them to have a great candidate experience. We've talked all about that, and you want it to be a good partnership. I get all that, so don't come at me, folks. But what we've lost is the fact that if you want to reduce the amount of candidates you get, and if you want candidates that are more passionate, the way you make them jump through hoops is you give them the tools and the ability to put skin in the game in the way that will serve you. And this is where it's been broken for too long. So I'll give you a great example in full disclosure. I advise this company, but McCoy just dropped the newest version of their app. And this is what it does. You log in, you upload your resume, your LinkedIn profile. You give it a job URL, job posting. It reads it, it scans it, it tells you what the top pain points are, and it tells you what 4 videos you should record. Do you want a script? Let's pull the script out of your job history and let's put it on a teleprompter and let's record it. 4 1-minute or less videos. Let's put it on a URL and let's send it to a hiring manager. Let's send it to a recruiter. The recruiter now sees the real person first interview. That skin in the game separates you. You're not going to do that for 1,000 jobs. You're going to do it for the ones you actually care about. It's going to reduce the amount of applicants, increase the quality, and allow it to sit fully with the job seeker. That's the kind of technology that is out there and happening and working right now. And it's going to be taking over in the next year. So we're going to keep hearing about all these low end, garbage in, garbage out, cheap AI versions, but it's going to get more and more sophisticated. And the job seeker has to accept that it is their job to sell themselves, whether you like it or not. Yeah. So use tools like this to make a value impact. Is the way that I look at it. And I'm always really honest with them about that. Job seekers have lost sight of that. They can complain all they want about recruiters and HR and everything else, but you want a job that pays thousands of dollars. What are you doing to get that job? And so, again, I'm an advocate for the job seeker, but I think in some ways we've left them off the hook a little too much.
Yeah.
And they're not stupid. Like, I've always said eventually robots are going to interview robots, and the only time human beings interact is when they show up for the job.
Your avatar talks to my avatar. Yeah.
I appreciate the take, but I also think like it's funny how employers will clutch the pearls when they go, oh my God, job seekers are automating their job search process.
Yeah. And like lazy job seekers are ghosting us. Oh.
So this is just going to shake out to where applicants have bots that are going to bat for them at these companies and interviews, and companies are going to bat with bots, and it's just bots on bots. And I don't know how it's going to shake out, but it's all very dystopian and scary to me. So
bots on bots, that could go wrong very quickly.
It could go very right as well. It could go very, very right, Chad. All right, let's take a quick break. Yeah, we'll be right back.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying. And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
Chad, they've been hibernating for a while, but my God, talk of unicorns is back, baby, and I am here for it. Utah-based AwardCo has raised $165 million in a Series B round, surpassing a $1 billion valuation. The company plans to use the funds to expand its global recognition platform, accelerate product innovation, and deepen employee engagement. The company now serves 6 million users across 160 companies. Chad, your thoughts on this newly minted unicorn in the employment space?
I'm getting a headache. I think I might need a McDonald's Diet Coke and a fucking Big Mac, whatever the fuck they call it. Yeah. So 1 billion valuation for a recognition platform. Am I getting that right?
Blame the kids.
Well, you know your labor market leadership and just overall culture is complete and utter fucking wreck when you need a recognition platform and it's getting that much fucking cash. So we talk about the disconnect almost every week from leadership to the frontline workers. Leaders are making huge comps and the people doing all of the actual work, day-to-day work, they're making not a living wage in many cases, right? And yet we think a pat on the back from a fucking platform is going to do this. We think that's the answer. That's where we need to come back to reality. How the fuck does a company like this get $165 million, get $1 billion valuation when that's not even the fucking problem? That's what bothers me. That's what bothers me.
Yeah. There's a book I've talked about a lot called Punished by Rewards by a guy named Alfie Kohn. It's written in the 60s, anticipated the problems with A's, praise, and other bribes. And they wrote about this, how we've conditioned a generation from a very early age, right? With the carrot, so that they've knocked all the intrinsic motivation out of people. It's all become extrinsic, but extrinsic motivation is very hollow, right? You're psyched for a second until you're not.
Yeah.
So the dopamine hit of the award is what you're holding them on to, but all it does is over time just make them super depressed because they're not intrinsically motivated to do anything. And it explains why so many people get into jobs and careers where they're just miserable because they pursued a paycheck and they pursued the ability to answer the question, what do you do, in a way that made them, feel like somebody respects them, regardless of how it made them feel. Like we have an epidemic problem here, particularly in the US. So to see a company like this expanding, honestly, all it's going to do is create more of that dissatisfaction, that lack of intrinsic motivation. It's focused on the wrong thing, in my opinion.
We actually have some historical footage of a employee review from 1964.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So we've come a long way, which leads me to my
time for a
history lesson number 2. Yeah,
all about the history.
Let me take you back to a trade show in let's call it circa 2001. Chad, you'll remember this booth, Successories. It was full of people in 3-piece suits with a myriad of plaques, trophies, banners, etc. Rewards used to be, here's a plaque for your service at the company.
You saw them all at Sherm.
Yes, and Successories is still there. So I will say at least this is a step in the right direction. I'd much rather have Uber Eats and AirPods than I would a trophy or a plaque in my room. Look, the kids today are insecure and they're dead inside, and they need this ongoing affirmation that they matter. And a company like this the timing is right. Yes, Chad, I know that you and I, old people, are like, what? This is a $1 billion company? You got to be kidding me. But the kids need the dopa hits. They need the hits. They need the gifts. They need the stuff.
Retrained.
Like this company, look, you got Bonusly in a similar situation, Achievers. There are all kinds of companies like this. And apparently the investors look at it and the kids need these real-time nudges that they're special and that they're snowflakes and that they are one of a kind. And this company is right there to profit off of it.
I can't until they're 35 and they wake up and they're miserable and
getting the headaches.
All right, more good news, everybody. Tariffs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
President Donald Trump and American retail giant Walmart traded stern words this week over the impact of tariffs after the company's announcement of impending price hikes drew ire from the president, who accused Walmart of unfairly blaming the tariffs for their expected price increases and ordering the world's largest retailer to, quote, eat the tariffs and not pass the import costs on to consumers. Chad, the president keeps going after good American businesses. What's your take?
Well, I think we should allow a good American business to talk a little bit about tariffs. We had Beth Beneke on the show a couple of weeks ago. She's been all over the media. She graced the Chad and Cheese podcast, and we got a little clip. So go ahead and play it.
Tariffs came down to 30%. Yay! That still sucks, by the way. That sucks for any small business owner. I think it's called anchoring, when you come in and you have something really awful, like 145% tariff, and then you bring it down significantly to 30. And we should all be super grateful. It's still going to cost me $48,000 more than this shipment would have cost me 2 months ago. It's still awful. It still hurts my business, but right now we have the support. We can function through this. I don't know what we're going to do afterwards, but I'll keep you posted.
So, much like Trump said with Mexico's going to build the wall, news alert, Mexico didn't build the wall. Then Trump said that tariffs would not be paid by Americans, but by other countries. News alert, as everyone with half a brain predicted, they're paid by Americans. And in this case, the administration is afraid that if the 5,000 Walmart stores, close to 5,000 Walmart stores in the U.S. start raising prices, there's going to be a fucking rebellion. So he's pressuring Walmart to eat the tariffs. He's going to be pressuring a lot of companies, because we see Ford, Subaru, a lot of the auto companies saying they're going to have to raise the car prices by anywhere from $750 to $2,000. And that, again, depending on the actual tariffs, that could prospectively go up. The biggest misdirection of this entire debacle is this administration caused this high-priced tariff chaos. And now they want credit for starting to clean up the process. The mess they fucking made. Period.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
What's so stupid about this? So the first big one was Amazon. Like, no, you can't put in your little listings the price increase.
Transparency.
And
Stop that.
And now it's like, oh, Walmart, no, you got to eat the price of this. Like, the whole point of tariffs that we were sold is that more stuff would be made in America, more jobs would be coming back to America. If he's telling Walmart to eat the cost, you're basically saying, Walmart, don't raise prices. But the whole point of the tariffs is so that prices are increased on those items, so that people behaviorally start buying stuff that's American because the Chinese stuff is too expensive. So it makes me think that Trump has no understanding of tariffs, because the whole idea is like, well, maybe stop bringing in China stuff, as opposed to like, well, you should eat the tariff. It makes me think that this thing is unhinged. There's no strategy. It scares me. And I think that most companies, big companies, are going to eat this. They're going to eat it for a year and a half.
If they can.
And they're going to pray to baby Jesus that the House goes big Democrat and that laws are passed that he can't do tariffs or the tariffs get rolled back. But I think most companies are taking this sort of strategy of like, look, just shut the fuck up, eat the tariffs, whatever Trump says, do. And I think you're going to like, he went after Apple. He said, Apple, okay, yeah, make them in India, but that's not why we did this. Like, you need to start making these in America.
Not going to happen.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, again, he doesn't understand what's going on. And Apple's playing by the rules. It says, okay, China's too expensive. We'll go to India. It's not, oh, you can't go to India. And he's playing this like socialist game of like, I'm going to control where you go and where you produce. But I think Apple, and Tim Cook being Tim Cook, is going to say, Mr. President, the president's correct, and we're going to make moves and we're going to make investments here. But in their back room where they're talking, it's going to be like, look, let's just suck this shit up for a year and a half, wait it out, put tons of money behind Democrats that are running for Congress next in a year and a half, and senators that are up. Like, that's where we need to be pointed, and let's just suck it up until now, or for the time being, and that's where we are. But the big picture is this is how it's supposed to be. This is what Trump wanted, like price increases, buy American, jobs come to America. It's self-defeating to say Walmart should eat these tariffs because you're not achieving what you wanted to achieve.
Well, most of what Walmart has is from China, and Beth, who was just on, she's an American company, and her shit's produced in China. I mean, and we had a whole podcast going down the math of why she did that and why she can't produce here in the US. I mean, there are reasons behind that. And there's no way in hell Apple's pulling out of China. There's no way. They spend hundreds of billions. I say that again, hundreds of billions of dollars in China every fucking year.
And every phone not sold in America is made in China.
Yeah.
And if this gets reversed, your iPhones will be made in China once again.
Wow.
Once again. And by the way, Beth is a small company that can't call the White House and say, like, she can't eat it. She can't survive.
No.
And look, shit's going to hit the fan if there's empty shelves at Christmas and back to school and all these things that people go to Walmart for and expect to see product on the shelves. Mm-hmm. Shit is going to hit the fan. And it sounds like from her, the 30%, she can deal with that and there'll be product back on the shelves. But she's hurting, and so are a lot of other
still
small
gonna have
businesses.
To raise prices.
Yep.
But isn't the MO here? I'm going to create the chaos, and then I'm going to be the savior from the chaos, and so you're going to remember me as the savior. So that idea of nothing being on the shelves at Walmart, he'll want to swoop in and fix that, and then he'll take the airtime and say, "Look what I did! I saved Christmas."
Well, that's what this is happening now. That's 145 to 30 because
that's what I'm saying. We've never had. If you've ever seen that entrepreneur that's just wild enough that starts a company, and if you really postmortem their whole journey, there were as many failures as there were successes. But if at the end of the day they end up the success, that's the story that gets written, right? And most of the time they can't run their own company when it gets to a certain size because just the way they built that business is not the way you sustain that business going forward. And you sit and look at it, what he's doing. Nobody knows how to react to it. It's like watching something chaotically spin and everyone, like you said, is just going to sit back for a year and a half and wait and hope it settles. It's not going to settle. Nope. This is a whole different way of that he likes to sit and live in and conduct business in, right?
Yeah.
And so
it can crazy. It can correct. I mean, if the house goes all dim, then it grinds to a lot of this stuff grinds to a halt, I think.
Fair. But again, we're a year and a half out, which doesn't solve. So we all sit tight for a year and a half while we watch this crazy up and down, create the chaos, save everyone from the chaos, create the chaos, save. And he understands cycles. He understands media cycles. He understands sign bites better than anyone. We were talking about that before we went live on the show. He has mastered the art of, as long as I get it out there, if someone's heard it, people run with it, I win.
Could be the biggest lie in the world, but it doesn't matter because it's out there.
Because it's out there.
This is the 4D chess theory that Trump is behaving in such a way that no one else understands it, but it all makes sense in the end.
After
I'm not sure I'm buying
the economy collapses.
I'm not sure I'm buying it.
You never know.
I'm not sure I'm buying it. All right, guys, let's take a quick break. Look, if you like what you've been hearing, if you like the show, please leave us a review. Please subscribe, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. We want to hear from you. And definitely, there's not enough of you when I go to conferences that have signed up for free shit. Look, we'll send you stuff. Literally, like
It's
just go
good
to
stuff.
chadcheese.com/free or click the free link and sign up for shit. Dude.
No marketing
It's
emails,
awesome.
none
It's
of that shit.
awesome. It's awesome. No other podcast in our space does this. Do it. We'll be right back.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
The Senate has unanimously passed, like everybody, the No Tax on Tips Act that offers a $25,000 tax deduction for cash tips for workers earning up to $160,000. The bill now heads to the House, where it could pass standalone or as part of a larger GOP package. Chad, your thoughts on no tax on tips?
I mean, it sounds great, but no tax on tips is total bullshit. It's a massive misdirection. Tips are supposed to be a little thank you for good service, not something you depend on to feed your fucking family. So to me, it's pretty simple. Pay your people a living wage. Your employees should not have to live day to day off of the tips they make. And many people do. So I know. Welcome to America, Chad. This is a fucked up system. It's how it is. Okay, I get it. Then why put a no tax cap of $25,000 on tips? While government spends all their time taxing the hell out of the lower and middle bracket earners, wages have barely moved at 14% since 1978, while motherfucking CEOs see comps in the same time frame over 1,300%, 1,300%. We get excited about not taxing tips. It's a misdirection. Don't fall for it. Pay a living wage. Your people and your customers deserve it.
60% of the time, it works every time.
JT?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I don't think they should be taxed on that. And I think that the base rate should be a lot higher. And I've just seen the results of it. So I have a daughter that worked at a place where they were all paid starting 17 up to 20 an hour smoothie joint. Mm-hmm. Think about that. 17 to 20 an hour, right? Base. And those kids were pulling in another $20 to $25 an hour in tips. I mean, these kids busted their humps. That place had a line out the door. The vibe was amazing. They were all able to pay for school. It was just such a beautiful example of that piece. I also know another place right now that it's a flat 25% tip is included in everything in this particular club, right? So it's a club where you go in and you eat, you walk out the door and you're just charged your card, right? Mm-hmm. But you're going to complain heavily if the staff wasn't amazing. So once again, they're guaranteed, they're all heavily invested in making sure you have a great experience because the setup is so good for them. They're making this a great career. It's a career of being incredible at customer service. And I think not realizing that, I mean, we're continuing to just decimate that field. If you've been places lately where people just don't care the kind of service they're giving you, right? They're completely checked out. I think, giving them more incentive for that would be better. And I'm with you on the wage piece. It's got to go up.
So Senate hardly ever does anything unanimously. The fact that they all voted for this is scary to me, because if they all agree on something, I'm worried about that in today's world. But it's so political because it's so easy. It sounds so good. How could you be against this? Mm-hmm. And it's really frustrating because they can do this, but they can't do the hard work of a minimum wage law that's fair to everyone. And I think that to be distracted by, wow, look what the government did, is really a shame. Roughly 2.5% of the workforce earns most of what they do by tips. So it's a very small percentage of the workforce. And frankly, a lot of them don't make enough to be taxed federally anyway. What about the people washing dishes in the kitchen? What about the cooks that are making the food in this same restaurant? Like, how do they feel knowing that the wait staff isn't getting taxed on the tips? Like, why can't we just bite the bullet, raise minimum wage to a place where people can be proud of what they do? And really, let's turn this back to me. I want to be able to tap and go when I get a drink at the bar. I don't want to like think about what am I tipping on this? I gotta get the check. I gotta wait for this shit. Let me tap and go. Let me tap and go. That's really what this is all about. Let me be more like Chad is really what I'm saying. Guys.
Yes. Europe's tip culture, much different, obviously, than the U.S. tip culture. And again, Europe pays a living wage for the most part. So I mean, tipping isn't even a thing, to be quite frank, unless you're like in a big city like London or something like that, which is really like a little America. But the big difference here between the two is that in the U.S., it's all about turning tables. So they want you in and out as fast as you can possibly get in and out. Because they have to get to that next tip, right? Here, I have dinner. It's 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours. Nobody's rushing me. Now, do I also have somebody coming over and saying, hey, would you like this? Hey, would you like this? Hey, would you like this? No, usually I have to kind of like put my hand up to get something. But I mean, that's the big difference. And again, if you're paying your people a living wage, then they shouldn't have to live off of tips. And that's to me the big thing. And the whole misdirection is, as Joel had said, they should be doing bigger things, much bigger things, like pushing the wage up so that this isn't even an issue.
Yeah. Tip exhaustion has hit America. Everything is a fucking
well, it's down
tip.
too,
And by
isn't
the way,
it?
Chad,
I think
the states that have implemented $20 an hour minimum wage, remember, like cats and dogs are going to be living together, mass hysteria. Hasn't happened.
Working. Well, what happens is when you pay all those more people more money, what do they do with it? They don't put it into fucking stocks and bonds and buy fucking yachts. No, they don't. They put it in the fucking economy the very next day in many cases, right?
Yep.
So it's like, if you want to get your economy rolling and churning, pay the lower and middle section of the economy. Those people, pay them more because they're going to spend more.
And get rid of tariffs, because that's a regressive tax too.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're trading your time for money and somebody's willing to give you more money for your time, you're going to hang on to that job. Right? It's just it's obvious. If I was running a business like that right now, I'd raise rates just to get the better talent. Get them to stay.
Think about how better recruiting and retention would be if you did that. It works, Chad, just like my dad jokes. That's right. That's right. Here we go. What do you call a redhead with a yeast infection?
What
do you call a redhead with a yeast infection?
Oh my God. I don't even want to think of a yeast infection, for God's sakes. Go ahead.
A gingerbread. We out.
Oh my God.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper jack. Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!